Today on Greg's List, a smashing look on people who prey on gullible entertainers.
If you're trying to break into show business, someone is already trying to charge you for it. Not for a job, but for the opportunity to maybe get a job. I've been acting since 1979. I've seen a lot of scams. And yeah, I've paid for 3 of them. These are 10 ways Hollywood takes your money. Let's start with one of the most common.
Number 10. Monthly dues. In some of the larger theater towns, theater companies will make some members pay dues. I've done this before once. It was $50 a month, and no one was getting rich from it. We had a nice theater and not a lot of income, so sure, I could pay $50. Also, I was casting shows all the time. That being said, some theater companies want you to pay $300 or more to join, with no guarantee of being cast. But hey, you get to take classes and build some sets. Which is great if you're an intern, not if you're paying to audition. Number 9. Fake promo emails. I get an average of 1 message a day from my SoundCloud page. It usually says, "Hey dog, your music had a cool vibe and it really reached me. I'm a promotions professional and I'd like to see about taking your music to the next level." Translation: they take your money, send 2 emails into the void, and then tell you they contacted industry decision makers. One person even claimed to be a Sony VP, offering to sign me to a record deal. Someone must be falling for it. Number 8. The Insider Workshop. Some of these are legit. I've been to a few that have casting directors with valid credits, and I've been called in. However, you need to vet these. I've also gone to seminars where the casting director has only 1 credit, a direct-to-video movie, and it was really obvious that the seminar was a way to pay the bills while he awaited his second job. I checked his credits recently. Let's just say the seminar may still be his most consistent gig. Before you go to one of these things, check the bona fides, friends. IMDb is free. Number 7. Pay for play. This has been going on forever. You have a band, and a club with a legendary reputation wants to book you, usually on an off night. All you have to do is buy a bunch of tickets. Sometimes it's a lot of them. I've heard of some bands paying the promoter $1,000 for tickets, which you are supposed to resell to friends and your fan base. If you are in LA or New York, your friends are already hounded to see gigs of all types. So you pay the money, no one buys the tickets, you give them away, and most people don't show up, so you're playing to 5 people on a Tuesday night. You are better off going back to your studio and inviting those 5 people to watch you rehearse. Number 6. Attitude insurance. If you are in show business long enough, you are going to run into somebody who has a bad attitude. It will usually be someone in power on the production. Attitude insurance is when you pay a company a monthly fee, and when someone is nasty to you on set or in the club, they will call you up and tell you how wonderful you are, that you're really going to make it. For an extra fee, they will even send a little note to the person you were working with, letting them know you had a wonderful time and hope to work with them again, followed by a bag of flaming poo left at their doorstep.
I'm focusing on actors and musicians because that's where I have the scars. I'm sure they're running the same plays on dancers, comedians, prop masters, you name it. If you want more of these survival tips, click subscribe and you'll know when the next episode drops. And if you go to gregslist.com, don't forget the extra G, you'll find new and archived episodes, plus ways to support the project. If this video saves you a few $1,000s, I won't complain if you redirect a tiny percentage of that to my Patreon. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, 1 item on this list is totally fake. That's always the thing on Greg's List. Back to the list.
Number 5. Pay to be listed. This used to be called The Book. Now it's a website. A company, quite often a manager, will charge you a tidy sum to have your headshots and resume placed on a special site that all casting directors, producers, etc. have access to. When it was a book, every time I mentioned it to an agent or CD, they said it went straight into the garbage can. Since this scam now runs via a website, It's sent as a link in an email, which Hollywood insiders will ignore or block as spam. Real managers make money when you book. They don't charge you to exist. Number 4. Child star roadshows. A company claiming to manage child actors will hit the road. They will rent a hotel meeting room, focusing on the outskirts of the LA metro, but often making visits around the country. They will have some speeches about how much money child actors can make. Next step, your kid gets a quick audition. They pass the audition, and trust me, they all pass. They will meet with a private counselor who try to sell them a package that includes lessons, photos, whatever else they can think of. They're going to want around $4,000 to $5,000, maybe more, and in return, you'll get some nice pictures and about a month's worth of classes from a local acting teacher. And that's about it. Number 3. Song pluggers. These guys will claim they are an insider who has successfully plugged songs to famous recording artists. For a fee, they will listen to one of your songs, or more if you pay more, and if they like it, they will plug it to so-and-so, who is making a new album. I fell for this once. Second time I was tempted, I did something radical. I picked up the phone. I called the office of the artist they were claiming they knew. One person in the office had heard of this guy, said he placed a song with them about 20 years ago, but that their client wasn't even currently working on an album. Number 2. Pay to submit. I get this a lot from websites that refer writers to theater companies and producers. Word up. If someone wants you to pay money to read your script, there's only a small chance that they will produce anything. They just want to see how many desperate writers will pay between $25 and $100 to enter this contest. At the most, you'll get an email letting you know how great your script was, and they wish they could produce every wonderful script they receive, but unfortunately, yours was not chosen. And if the prize is exposure, remember, exposure is what you die from in the wilderness. Number 1. Representation for sale. This scam is mainly done by managers, since that business isn't regulated and they can do whatever they want as long as no laws are broken. They would be happy to sign you, and of course you guys will make millions together. But first, you have to go to their photographer, their teacher, etc., and they'll get a kickback. Don't expect any auditions from this. I've had agents try this too, but if they get caught, they'll lose their SAG franchise. First time I had an agent try this, he had a cheap office near Universal City, no furniture, and he wore a purple tuxedo during business hours. I did some fishing and learned he offered to sign every actor who came into his office. I reported him to SAG, and I briefly considered calling Rip Taylor to report a wardrobe theft. If you've fallen for one of these, you are not stupid. You're ambitious. Someone told you what you've worked for your whole life to hear. Just don't pay twice. There are no shortcuts. Learn the craft. Do good work. Promote yourself relentlessly. And yes, one of these items was fake. That's the Greg's List tradition. If this helped, click subscribe, and I'll keep you updated on future episodes. If you've seen a new scam making the rounds, drop it in the comments. Let's warn each other. Another thing to mention, if you want to see the real scummy behavior around show business, just read up on Epstein, Weinstein, and the rest. They make the guys I mentioned look like small potatoes. And as always, I'll leave you with a little music. This is from the new album Palette that I produced and wrote for the spurious girl group Kiss and Tell. It's called Borrowed Stardust, which gives you a little look at what life is like for the struggling entertainers. Available wherever you stream or download. Thanks for everything.
She's dodged cheap roles that cut at her pride. Seen friends get discovered and swallowed alive. Her feet looks like champagne, her nights taste like rust. Another callback forgotten, another reason to cuss. And when her dad asks, she sharpens her tail. My big break is close, I can feel it in the mail. Borrow stardust, pretend rope stays thin, waiting on mailbox money that never comes in.
Greg's List is a Guano production.